Okay, I'm back. According to OBS, my audio should be working. You guys should have audio. Look at that. The webcam does seem fucked up. I have no idea why that is. No idea at all. It does seem very dithery. Let me listen to my... How does my voice sound? I've got to hear the stream. Hold on a second. I should have listened to it at the beginning. Does my voice sound tinny? That should not be. Gotta wait for an ad to play before I can actually see my stream. Like, why does the streamer have to watch an ad before they see their own stream? I get the concept of ads, but I think that's going a bit far. Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, let me test something. Hello?
Testing. My mouth is against the microphone.
Now it's far away. What's the... Okay. Okay. So, it's not a problem with the microphone. What was happening before was that, the computer settings had somehow switched so that the camera, the webcam, was like taking my audio instead of my microphone. That was happening for like a month, and I had no idea why my audio quality was so low. That's not what's happening now. It sounds like my actual voice audio should be fine. Like, it doesn't sound any different than usual. It's just the camera, I guess. Does it seem? I don't know. It seems okay for me now. Maybe it was just a momentary thing. Okay. Well, the game sound seems fine. The microphone sound seems fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just ignore it and keep going. We'll just keep playing. Oh, back to the game, and back to my very desperate health situation. You think anything was wrong to begin with? Yeah, I was well, you know, not like I don't know why that happened though. It wasn't Badger's fault. It like just simply touching my microphone should not make all audio in my computer suddenly stop, which is what happened. Like, I was testing it after I turned the stream off. I tested a YouTube video. I still wasn't hearing any audio at all, even when I unplugged my microphone, and then suddenly it came back inexplicably for no reason. So whatever caused that glitch, it's a complete fucking mystery. Complete mystery. Computers are weird. Computers are weird. Facecam is still lo-fi. Yeah, I have no idea how to fix that, so we just will try not to not worry about it. How are you doing, Badger? You ready to sleep, Nacho? Uh-oh, I better hurry up and beat this game. I'm sorry. I'm keeping you waiting, I know. Homing missiles help out there. I have a lot of homing missiles. Setting in my cam. I didn't change any settings, but I mean, I'm sure it is possible that they changed themselves. It's happened before. I'm sure that's possible. Well, it might not even be a setting. It might just be like a weird, inexplicable thing where just something just fucks up for no reason. Because that's what happens sometimes when you use computers. Oops, I'm wasting hover too. I don't like that. Might need that later. Long week? Oh yeah, it's been a long week for us all. I have to go to a wedding tomorrow. I'm kind of not looking forward to that. It is Friday. I guess that helps a little bit. But I'm a little bit sad because I'm not going to be able to stream this weekend. I might be able to stream on Sunday, but I'm going to be like gone at a wedding like all weekend. It kind of sucks a little bit. I'm playing Marvel Lego Superheroes. What a fun game. I've never really liked the The Lego games, not really my thing. I never liked Marvel movies that much either. Although I did see Doctor Strange, and I did actually kind of like it. There are a couple Marvel movies that I like. I do like I like Iron Man movies a lot. I like Robert Downey Jr. a ton, so therefore I tend to like Iron Man and Avengers. Although I did not like Avengers 2 at all. But the first one I think is great. But all the other Marvel movies I'm pretty cold on. Da-da-da. There goes the slow lost. Oh, the slow lost homing missile actually killed something. Wow, I didn't know it could do that. Have you ever played Blaster Master, Badger? Or Nachos? Just curious. This was a very popular NES game back in the day. I feel like a lot of people have fond memories of this game. Don't want to drive into the spikes. Carefully inch forward. There we go. Okay. Oh, I managed to not die, so that's good. Nice to keep this gun. Let me see if I can... Oh, of course, the ice is probably going to hurt me. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try to keep the gun. I'm going to give it a shot. Don't really expect to. I'm going to keep it as much as I can. So far, so good. I've taken no hits. Not bad. I will take damage in this part, though. Probably going to take damage here. Because it's very difficult not to. From these fucking things. Although if you're careful, you can pull it off. Well, there's some more gun in here I should be able to get, I think. You played it? So, did you play it like when you were a kid, or have you played it recently, and how far did you manage to get? I actually did beat this game as a kid. This is one of the games I did manage to beat as a kid, with like a lot of patience. I played it a lot, though. I actually never owned it. I think I actually borrowed it from a friend. And I probably rented it like multiple times, too. Excuse me. Oh, hey, more gun. Nice, nice, nice. Only play at a friend's house. Oh, there's a big gun there. I would like to get that. Hope that it stays there while I just go here. I think it should. Give me that big gun. Give me that big gun. Sweet. Sweet. Big gun. Alright. More gun I don't need. I'll just leave that there. Since it'll probably stay there just in case. Oh, I'll leave that one there too. Back up. What game are we talking about? This one! The one I'm playing, Blaster Master. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you guys... Just wondering if, like, how many of you guys in chat have played it and how you feel about it. What your feelings are in Blaster Master. Like I was saying earlier, it's one of my favorite NES games. I would probably put it in like my top 5 favorite, honestly. Which is part of why I really wanted to definitely beat this game on stream. Where are you, boss? You never got far. Ah, that's too bad. How far did you get? Let me guess. Level 3? That level 3 is like the first big barrier for a lot of people. Because of that box boss. That box boss is really tough. Very easy to... You know what? Maybe I'll just try attacking this guy with my gun. Never mind, he fucking already hit damage me. Very easy to take damage against this boss. I find it to be, like... That's actually, without using the exploit, I think that this right here is the most difficult boss in the game. Even more so than the crab. Well, maybe the crab is harder. But that boss is also really difficult. With the exploit, of course, he's simple. And we got wall 1! Damn it, lightning bolts, you never want to cooperate, do you? That's okay. That's what makes them so unpredictable, because they're lightning. Okay, now we gotta go we gotta make the long journey, go all the way back to level 7. So we gotta go back to level 5, and then 4, and then 1, and then finally 2. How's the run going? Not bad. I finally I did bad on level 5. I actually had to burn a continue on level 5, and I actually spent it was really bad. I actually lost my final life against the crab boss. I spent I don't know, an hour farming gun, and then I finally got to the crab boss with max gun. I took a hit and lost gun power, and then he became a lot harder, and I couldn't manage to beat him, so I died. I had to do that whole level over, and that cost me a lot of time. I've actually been playing worse today than I played yesterday. Hopefully I will do better against the final boss. That's all that really matters. I mean, you know, it's okay. I still have 4 continues, which is plenty for the final level. I've reviewed some strategies for that final boss to try to figure out what I was doing wrong. I think I've got a pretty good idea, and I feel pretty confident. So I still think I'm gonna beat the game. It's a shame that I'm playing worse than I did yesterday. But you know, it's going okay. So yeah. I'm bound for level 7 now. So just a little farther. Level 7 doesn't usually take that long. Oh, there's actually hover there. The hover came back. I do need to have max hover before level 8. So that's something to keep in mind. With that in mind, I should probably really try try hard to not die. Since dying, I believe, makes you lose your hover. Damn it. You're eating dinner and cheering me on? Why, thank you, Mr. Leo. Appreciate that. What are you eating for dinner? What's dinner tonight? My dinner was, we're actually really short on food right now, and my dinner was just a bag of carrots and some apple cider vinegar to dip them in, which is that's my old, that's one of my old weight loss meals that I used to do was just vegetables and apple cider vinegar to dip them in with like a little bit of Tabasco sauce in it. It's still not bad. Still not too bad, but that's like all we had left in the fridge was a bag of carrots, and like that's it. We do have some quinoa I could have cooked, but did not do it. Cheering out loud. Yeah, are you cheering out loud? Beans with salsa mixed in, lots of onions. Ah, that's interesting. Beans with salsa mixed in, huh? Beans with so what? Just like you take some beans, just mix some salsa in, and onions, like chopped onions. And you made that? Sounds kind of interesting. I would try that. I'd do that. I like beans. I like salsa. I like onions. All things I like. You're a simple man when it comes to food. That's okay. Another one like the weight loss food. Wait, what happened there? Whoa, the thing's glitching. Look at it. It thinks it's on like another screen or something. Huh? That was weird but interesting. Never seen that happen before. One thing that I grew to like a lot when I was doing my weight loss diet was potatoes. Potatoes are actually really super healthy if you don't put a bunch of salt and gravy and sour cream on them. So what I learned that I really enjoyed a lot was potatoes with a hummus spread on them and mixed with Tabasco. That's really good. And another thing is just potatoes just with hot sauce. Potatoes with hot sauce is actually really good. I mean, I found this Mexican hot sauce called, what is it called? Begins with a V. It's not, it's like, it sounds kind of like Villanova, but it's not, that's not. What was it? I always forget the name of this hot sauce. It's so good though. So we live in a Mexican neighborhood, so it's this Mexican hot sauce you can get here. And just like that with potatoes, I also like to put that like on a lot of other, like, it's great on pizza, which is not a healthy food, but it's great on that. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Potatoes spike your sugar more than beans. Yeah, well, if that's a concern, then I guess potatoes would not be ideal for you. But I mean, for most people, I think potatoes are very healthy. Yeah. You have weird diabetes. What is that, like type W? Weird diabetes? What does weird diabetes mean? Type 3. What's that like? Genetic mutation, really? Wow. Is it like really bad or? Sugar power is an inability to process sugars. Your metabolism shows down. I see. But in any case, you have to avoid sugar, right? So it's similar in that way. Yeah, I'm very fortunate to not have to worry about diabetes. My curse is asthma, which I've had ever since a kid. That's what I have to live with. Which means that I have this medication I'm on to like make it better, which I have to take like twice a day, and basically I have to take that forever. I mean, probably diabetes would be worse than asthma, you know? To be fair. Because at least, like, I can be on a medication and I can still eat whatever I want. It doesn't affect what I eat. It does affect, like, if I mean, and, like, I can still pretty much do everything that I want to do as long as I stay on this medication, which works pretty well. Is this the right way, or do I need to go up? Yeah, maybe you need to go up from here? Cannot quite remember. Oh, no, we don't want to go up from here. That's a shortcut that goes backwards. Don't want to do that. You just need to inject a moderate amount to cover you while you were asleep. Oh, you eat normally? Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad you don't have to. So it sounds like it's not a big deal for you. That's good. For some people, it is a big deal. Although, to be honest, you know, the food that you probably have to avoid when you have that kind of illness is food you probably shouldn't be eating anyway. Even, you know, if you're a normal, you know, if you have a normal metabolism, you know, sugar and stuff like that, you're better off not eating it. You know, I've had to cut my sugar intake down just for health reasons. That was supposed to say Jeebus. You're like, jeers to you. Knock on wood, you have it easy. Right. Well, even if you don't have something like that, it is still a very good idea to eat as healthy as you can. You know? Especially as you get older. Just to develop better eating habits, avoid liquid calories. You know, eat more vegetables and fruit. That's very important. I'm trying to do that too. And it's working out pretty well, actually. Like I lost a bunch of weight, and I've been able to keep it off for like a year now, and I feel like I can continue to do so. Quite honestly. Months without a shot, you miss those days. Well, it always happens when the world is running down. You make the best of what's still around, and when you get older, your body runs down. What can you do? I don't need that gun, I'll just leave that there. Ha. Well, we'll see what happens with that. You know, I don't want to, I mean, I guess you probably don't want to, you probably don't come here to talk about politics, but, it's actually kind of interesting, you know. I really don't think, and other people have said this too, but I really don't think that Trump expected to win. But I really have to wonder how much of his campaign was actually real, because he was basically a liberal and a Democrat until 2012. He said good things about, well, not about Obamacare, but like I wonder, like, I just have this feeling that now that he's won and he doesn't have to, like, you know, say whatever he has to say to get elected, I wonder if his actual political beliefs are a lot more liberal than people would expect, especially on things like healthcare. It's actually possible that he might not want to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act. I mean, I could be reading the situation wrong, but I think that's genuinely possible. Yeah, I'm with Badger. I'm actually not as worried about Trump as I am about the fact that the GOP owns the government in addition to Trump. Like, the fact, it's actually, I think, if the Democrats had gotten control of the Senate or the House, I think we'd be in much, much better shape right now. But the fact that the like, I don't think that I mean, don't get me wrong, there are problems with the affordable health care. Like, our premiums just went up, like, a lot. I'm not happy about that. But I don't, like, you know, the Affordable Health Care Act is a step towards universal health care, which is something that I think we really need. So I don't want it to go away. He's not a plant. I mean, I don't believe in that kind of conspiracy theory. He's not a plant. He's not a plant, but he's an opportunist. You have to think Trump. What he actually is a salesman and a con artist, and an opportunist. So he is exactly the kind of person who would lie to get elected, you know. And he lies all the time. It'd be very, very easy for him to like lie about his entire campaign. And if you were watching like his campaign closely, there were all kinds of signs that Trump really didn't believe a lot of the things. Like for example, on abortion, when he was, you know, he like I think before 2012, back when he was like more of a Democrat, I think he semi-famously said that he was really for abortion. Like most people like say they're pro-choice, but like Trump actually said he was pro-abortion. And like I think he was actually in favor of like late-term abortions. That's how like he was big into it. Like I think he said something like that. I could be remembering wrong, but he was. But you know, and then the actual during the campaign, first he was like kind of quiet on it, and then he was like, you know, oh yeah, I'm. Then he like overcompensated, and all of a sudden he was like very against abortion, but he couldn't get his story straight. Like he couldn't like remember what he was supposed to say. That happened a lot. Like he was always like getting his own campaign wrong. Like he would be saying things that were the opposite of what his campaign website would say, and then people would call him on it and he'd be like, "Oh, I didn't mean that," or "I never said that." And then he would like, you know, his aides would like correct him. He didn't even know. Yeah, he screwed up by winning. I do think that at first he didn't really, winning wasn't part of his plan. And then there was a certain point, like I think maybe even towards the end, where he realized, oh, I actually have a chance, and then his ego took over and was like, okay, I'm gonna win because I want to be an important person. I don't think he actually really cares about issues. I think he just wants to be important. So what does a person like that do when they're elected, you know? He doesn't have to like appease, he doesn't have to lie anymore to appease his constituents. Oh Jesus, don't fall in lava. That worried me for a second. Do I want to go down here, or do I want to... Wait, where do I want to go? Is this the right way? No, that's not the right way. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not really convinced that he's going to do stuff like, suddenly like, be like, alright, we got to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act. I don't think so. I watched his acceptance speech, too. He was very, very flattering of Obama. And now maybe he was just being respectful. But is Trump really the kind of... He was also like his acceptance speech, he praised Hillary. He praised Hillary, and like during his like sit down with Obama, he was very, very kind and flattering to Obama. Now, was he just being like courteous and respectful and holding his real feelings? I don't think so, because Trump doesn't do that. I think he was genuine. Like, I think he was a Hillary fan before 2012. It's documented fact. He was a big fan of the Clintons. You have to remember that. So is this a guy who's gonna... You really don't know what he's going to do. You really don't know. I'm not saying he's going to be a good president. He'll be a terrible president. There's no doubt about that. But you really don't know. But, like, people are worried about the wrong things. Like with Trump. Like him, like, doing a bunch of Republican stuff, and that's not really the... I think he might actually end up fighting with the Republican Congress. Like... In a similar way to how Hillary may have. He might end up like surprising people with his nominations for the Supreme Court. I really think so. I think that the Congress is more the issue actually right now. I mean, there's still lots of bad things that are going to happen because of Trump, though. I mean, for one thing, he's obviously going to be absolutely horrible when it comes to foreign policy, because he is not a good diplomat. He never will be. So that's... And as far as like being in charge of the military, he has no business doing that. That's probably the most worrisome thing about Trump, is anything to do with the military. Hopefully he'll just kind of just let the generals do whatever and just stay out of it, or hire someone who actually knows what they're doing, which is questionable, his judgment on hiring people. But hopefully he'll do it somehow. He'll figure something out and make just luck up into the right decision. You know, even a wrong clock is right twice a day. He won't do a damn thing. Flat out, he won't. The House and Senate will ravage the nation. Maybe. It's true. He might just because yeah. I mean, what you're saying is true. He might just sit back and just jump into spikes and then die, like I just was about to do. Don't want to do that. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What am I doing? I need to go to level 3. Damn it, Trump! Look what you made me do. Yeah, no, that's also a very plausible scenario. He'll just sit back and like not get involved and let the Senate do whatever it wants. That's true as well, because he probably right now, if I had to guess what Trump like is going through Trump's head and what his plan is, this guy who kind of lucked into being president, who really knows he's not qualified and feels in over his head, his plan right now is probably to to grease as many elbows as he can and not rock the boats, and basically just try to like make friends wherever he can, because he's a guy who has enemies. He's besieged. Trump ruining the run. Yeah, he's a guy who has enemies on all sides. Republicans and Democrats both don't like him, and the Republicans are hoping that he'll work with him. But in his heart, he probably like sides more with Democrats. So what does a guy like that do? What I think he does is basically shake as many hands as he can, step back, get out of the way, and be an ineffective, like basically be a non-leader, and just let the Congress do what it wants. So yeah, you're probably right. He might, but at the same time, that's one scenario, but it's really not Trump's personality to do that. His personality is to do whatever the fuck he wants and not care what people think. So what does a guy like that do when he's president, you know? If he was more liberal-leaning and had, like, lied about being conservative to get elected, what does he do? Does he suddenly, like... What if he, like, suddenly... What if he, like, appoints... One of the first things he's going to do is appoint a... You're also worried that his win means for racism, sexism, xenophobia in America. Yeah, well, there's good and bad on that, though, because there has been, like, a lot of it feels like the floodgates have opened a little bit on that, but that also means that people are going to start fighting back more. Also, you have to keep in mind that a lot of the people who voted for Trump are people who don't think he's a racist and don't think that that's what this means. So if there actually is outbursts, like more and more outbursts of real racism, the people who voted for Trump, a lot of them are going to have some soul searching to do, you know? It will be really interesting to see what Trump does if there is, like, you know, some spates of violence or whatever. Of course, it's also possible that there's going to be, like, violence on the side of Trump protesters as well, but I hear both of those things have happened a little bit so far. Some of the chat rooms are filled with super horrible women-hating people. It's true. Well, yeah. I mean, I think some of that... Yeah, but I do think a lot of that is not necessarily... You know, the problem is it's hard to tell how much of that is people who actually hate women and how much of that is people who go in the chat rooms and say whatever they think will piss people off. Because if you're a troll, that's what you do. Even if you aren't, like, actually like that in real life, you know? It's very tempting to just... I mean, the appeal and the allure of anonymity combined with the appeal of pissing people off. Like, just going in, like, maybe you don't like someone, whatever, you go into their chat. What do you say to piss them off, you know? The obvious go-to is racism and sexism, because that pisses off a lot of people. So how much of that is real and how much of that is just trolling, you know? It's really hard to say. I mean, I honestly suspect a lot of it is trolling, but then again, it's also, you have to remember, another thing you have to keep in mind is that, oh Jesus, that was a bad jump. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that America is, up until now, at least, up until this election, it's been a place where racism has been incredibly unpopular, to the point where racism has sort of become, the word racism has become a word used to basically demonize somebody that you don't like, right? You know? And, like, the other side of the racism argument, they don't even argue for racism. They argue, I'm not a like, we don't have arguments about whether racism is good. We have arguments about whether so-and-so person is a racist. It almost seems like universal that everybody agrees racism is good, right? Or is bad, right? It seems like that in, like, the public sector. You know? But how much closeted racism is there, actually? You can't measure that. You can't, it's really difficult to know that. It's impossible. So how do you... If, you know, it looks like now there definitely are some people who, like, are closeted racists who feel emboldened by Trump winning. I mean, you can see that phenomena happening. The question is, how much is it going to happen? Is it a temporary thing that's going to blow over, like, after a couple weeks? You know? Like, is this just, like, a little bit of, like, you know, there's been some, like, you know, graffiti and, like, vandalism, like some Nazi stuff. Is that just, like, people, like, is that, like, the last, well, is that, like, a little, is that the equivalent of, like, rioting, when, like, there's a video comes out of, you know, police beating a black person, and then black people, you know, like, when and they riot? Is it like just is it just people, like, basically, or is it like, or is it real? You know? Yeah, that you don't want to take those words out of context. You think a lot of Trump supporters are not hateful people? They might be. I don't know. I've tried to, like, engage and talk to Trump supporters, and I think a lot of them don't think that they are hateful people, at the very least. A lot of them think that, like, actually a lot of Trump supporters think that racism is not a problem anymore, and think that, you know, complaints about racism are overblown. A lot of them. Like, a lot of them are not necessarily racists. They just think that racism is that we basically defeated racism, and that's a myth. Okay? Like, a lot of Trump supporters actually say that, if you, like, try talking to them. But it's very interesting, because now that Trump has won, the actual racists feel emboldened, and they feel like they can now come out of the woodwork. The question is, how many of them are going to actually come out? And the people who, a lot of the Trump supporters who think that all this racism stuff is a myth, and that, you know, in the 21st century we're past all that, how are they going to react to it? You know what I mean? That's going to, in the next couple of weeks, there might actually be some very, very interesting backlash against Trump, even from his support. And also, if Trump doesn't, they voted for Trump thinking that he was going to be, like, he was going to go to Washington and going to clean it up. But if there's one thing Trump is not going to do, it's going to be cleaning up Washington. Because he's either going to be shaking hands and trying to make friends, or he's going to be, like, you know, doing, like, the liberal agenda he wants to do. He's not going to be cleaning up corruption. That's the absolute last thing that Trump is going to do. So when a lot of the Trump supporters, you have to keep in mind, a lot of them also had, like, a very similar attitude as, like, Bernie supporters, just from, like, the opposite ends. They want to see corruption cleaned up, which is admirable, but that's not going to happen. So I'm almost positive that in about a year from now, Trump is going to be the most hated president of all time, and a lot of people who are supporting him right now are going to hate him. Mark my words. There are going to be many Trump supporters a year from now who are going to be like, I can't believe what a big mistake I've made. I hate him. I hate him, he betrayed us. Watch. It's going to happen. But yeah, anyway, like, right now, for the immediate future, I'm more worried about the Republican Congress than Trump. But I am very interested to see what he will do, because he really is an X factor. His campaign is basically all probably a lie. Anyway, as I'm saying all this, I'm about to actually be Blaster Master, so let me just pause for a second. Let's just get back into let's put the politics aside for a second. But yeah, no, that's a good point, Mr. Leo. he is in power. But if everybody hates him on both sides, how much power does he actually have, right? Well, you know, but you know what? Let's put that aside for a second. Let's put that aside. Because I'm about to be Blaster Master. Some things are more important than politics, guys. If some reason to impeach him comes up, you end up with Pence. Yeah, that is... He actually... Mr. Leo... Like, some people will not agree with that, but I was thinking about that, too. Mike Pence actually might be worse. So, I was thinking Trump... There's a real chance Trump could be impeached, but it might actually not be a very good thing. Of course... If Trump screws up, as he is guaranteed to do, then the elections for Congress in 2018 could be a very different story. I mean, there's a real chance of like the Democrats totally turning that around. I mean, we thought that I could be wrong because honestly, I would have thought that the Democrats would have done better in Congress this year. But anyway, Blaster Master. Okay, anyway, I have a strategy for this guy. I already fucked it up, but... I already fucked the strategy up, so we're just gonna sit here and we're just like gonna spam bullets on this guy as long as I have power gun. Can you press both buttons at once? No, you can only shoot one at a time. Well, it looks like I got him stuck in a pattern already. This is gonna be over real quick. I have a strategy and I don't even feel the need to use it right now. This was not my strategy. The strategy I was gonna do was I was gonna start with him at the top. Well, I think what's better than just running in the corner like this is go to the top of the screen. When you start off, go to the top right. He will follow you going to the top right, and then inch down while shooting grenades at him. This way, he doesn't trap you in it. Eventually, he'll trap you in the corner, but by that time, you should have done enough damage that you can kill him before he can kill you. But apparently, the souped-up gun actually does pretty well against him because I think it's actually slowing him down. Oh, what is this? Oh, I got the early explosion. First try. I mean, on that boss. First try. We're number one. We're number one. We are number one. I did what I could not do last night. Thank you. I knew I could do it. I was disappointed in myself last night. And I got all the way here and I could not beat that goddamn boss. I knew I could do it. I've beaten this game before. That's why I came back. That's why we did it tonight. Let's see Trump do that. That's right, Badger. Let's see Trump do that. Exactly. Make Blaster Master great again. I enjoy it. You know, you have to laugh, you know? I mean, sometimes depressing things happen, but you gotta laugh, you know? You gotta laugh. He's with the frog again. That's right. Okay, guys. What game? Oh, I was supposed to play Wario 3 after this. Let me. Is maiden name still around? Let me give him a quick message and let him know. I think that would be fun going to. You guys. Let me ask. You guys are still here and he's not. So you have priority. If you don't want to see Wario 3, if you want to see something else, I will consider. I will definitely consider it. But I'm assuming that you'll probably be okay with that. I think, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you're a fan of that game, Mr. Leo. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I mean, everybody loves the Wario games, right? I mean, those games are great. That's what I thought. You love that game. That's what I thought. Everybody loves the Wario games. All right. Alright, Wario 3 time. Give me 1 second to just get this set up. Yeah, I tried to stream that once before, and that was like right on like the eve of like the insane E.T. on Atari. Okay, I will try to do some E.T. tonight. I think I'm gonna have to do Wario 3 first, but I will. You know what? Well, no, you know what? Let's save E.T. for next time. Let's save because I don't want to do E.T. Also, I don't have a setup for Atari games either in the stream, but I want to do actually a concentrated Atari stream one of these nights where we just like play nothing but Atari games, and ET will definitely be one of those games. You were kidding. No, I'm serious though. I want to do like an Atari stream. I think that would be Atari 2600. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, I will play AT. It's one of the games from my childhood. I don't. It's not a good game, but it is not as bad as people think. It's kind of interesting, sort of. It's bad. Too many. You spend the whole game falling into pits, but not the worst Atari game. 1 second, I'm just like trying to remember like how the setup works for Game Boy games. Oh yeah, I use Visual Boy Advance, I think.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Don't you ever... I'm going to do it, Insane Nacho. No, too late. Insane Nachos, have you ever heard the phrase, be careful what you ask for? Be careful what you wish for? Have you ever heard that phrase? It may have new meaning for you now.